Look at us. I don't remember. Hey, it's been so long since we did this. I don't remember how our song goes. It goes a little something like this. Hey, hi David.
How's it going there, buddy?
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Since the last time we've talked, it's been
Yeah,
some elapse of time has
yes,
passed.
we've been going through some interesting stuff.
Yeah, but we're not really going to get into that right now.
Nope, nope,
But
because you know what we're doing.
yeah, we are going to bring Gimmie Babel back just as you expected and always wanted by cooking some bread. So once you get your ingredients ready, we're gonna get started. But seriously, I think um, David and I are coming back with a little bit of a different approach to our show because, yeah, a lot of stuff has happened and a lot of stuff has changed, and you know, our approach has changed too. We're gonna try to do a show that's
Whole new world.
yeah, it is. It's a whole new world, and we're gonna do something a little bit different for you guys. And in order for like our biggest problems, one of my biggest problems with doing the show has been I had not wanted to talk about any of the stuff happening in the world. I did
Mhm.
not want to talk about politics. I didn't want to talk about health stuff, not on this kind of forum because, frankly,
Well, this is already out there, you know. Why do people need to hear our opinions?
and
Right.
yeah, well, it was that, and just it just didn't seem appropriate. Also, like I didn't I didn't want to discuss those things and share my opinions because I didn't know how exactly how I felt about everything, and it also seemed redundant and unproductive, and we're dealing with things at home, putting out fires at home, dealing with family, dealing with our own personal health issues and family health, and figuring stuff out with work, which has been like just turned everything on its ear. Like the fine arts, I don't know how all you other artists are doing, but I couldn't sell anything. I'm trying to think of a funny analogy, but but all I
I
could
was
think of
like,
is
oh, myself out of a paper bag.
I couldn't sell myself. I couldn't sell myself a pickle, and I love pickles. I don't know. It's just been very difficult, and talking about it in some ways has been also pretty difficult. But now I've drawn this part out far enough. Let's just welcome ourselves back. David, welcome
How are you
back.
going? Bake some bread.
Yeah, so we're gonna make some bread with you guys today, and we think this is something that's also
Oh,
come up.
really quick, David, I just want to, we should mention too, if anybody is just listening to this on audio right now,
Right.
we're going to YouTube as well with
Yes.
our
Yeah.
station. So this
Uh,
is you're going to have this whole episode on video as
yes.
well.
It's another. It's another difference is that we're approaching that we're gonna actually be this is a video podcast as well. So you'll find our Gimmie Babel YouTube channel if you Google us or go to whatever, however things work. I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember how things work, but if you go to YouTube, you can look up Gimmie Babel,
You'll find
find us. You'll find us along other bunch of videos, and anyway, this is my first time. This is David and I's first time. So go gentle, be kind, and
yeah.
please, the sound is going to be weird, the video is going to be weird, everything's going to be weird, but bear with us. And I think if this pans out, we'll be doing this again and again and try to do some DIY cooking, DIY art studio stuff. But making bread was something that I learned right before the pandemic hit. I was down in Georgia visiting Mark Sobchak,
Yeah.
and Mark and I we were having our second annual sit on the couch and watch cartoons for a week, and cook and eat. And one of the things he taught me was this no knead bread recipe. No knead meaning you don't have to knead the bread. And this was something, actually, I'm going to look up the guy right real quick. His name was, he got the recipe from a baker or a chef named Jim Leahy. And Jim Leahy worked at the Sullivan Street Bakery in New York City. And he had a no knead bread recipe that he put out in the New York Times, actually put it out in 2006. And that's when Mark picked up the recipe and he shared it with me 20 in early 2020, February 2020, when I was down in Georgia. And it was the first time I ever made bread. And it came out so wonderful and delicious that when I came home, I started, practicing. And when the pandemic hit, making bread at home was a commodity. It was really a useful thing.
Yeah. I think we were even talking about it in the older episodes that you were like tearing it up, making bread constantly.
Yeah, probably. Like I became obsessed in trying to perfect the recipe for my oven, for my cooking vessel. All those things matter, and all these variables. But I thought it was apropos also to share now because this is our post year off. We took a hiatus, our little
That's pretty much almost been a year.
sabbatical. Yeah, I mean, during the whole, nearly a year in March, it's going to be like a year since this whole mess started, and a lot has changed. Not a lot has changed really with since then. Like, well, we're still holed up in our homes. We're still like not able to go out and barely see friends and family without like quarantining on both sides. And it's been a mess. Everybody knows. This is a good thing that I don't have to explain is that everybody knows because everyone's gone through this. Anyway, yeah, that's the short of it. Like Mark shared this recipe with me. I shared it with David. We had so much fun doing a Skype, bread recipe thing. We decided this would be a good way for us to bring back maybe Gimmie Babel in a different format because it'll be fun for us and maybe fun for you if this works and ever makes it out there. So
yeah. So if anybody wants to bake with us right now, David, why don't you go through the what you need?
Absolutely.
To do.
Yeah. To bake along with us. It's actually here begins the technical difficulties of every fucking 5 minutes. All right. Sorry. All right. It's a pretty short list of ingredients, and I'm going to consult my ever trusty recipe book, which I started a couple of years ago now, and I have my no knead bread recipe as taken from the recipe that Sobchak gave me. Oh, look at this. The camera's now dead. Man, I love technology. You know what? We're gonna start this one by doing the single angle one. Oh God, whatever. All right. There are no cuts.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
There are no cuts.
It's the best kind of video.
All right, all right. So consulting my recipe book is here, and it's pretty simple. We just need some unbleached flour. Need 4 cups of unbleached flour. I'm using you could use bread flour, all-purpose flour.
Yeah, I'm using all-purpose.
And honestly, this just like all our videos for DIY in the studio and whatnot, this is not necessarily, a how-to do, but how we do what we do, how we do it kind of video. So, use with caution and full disclosure, I can't be held responsible for how your bread comes out. Okay, so you need 4 cups of unbleached all-purpose flour or bread flour. You need some yeast. You're only going to need about half a teaspoon of active dry live active yeast, the powdered stuff, or the pellets or whatever, the dry yeast. We need regular salt, iodized salt. We're going to need 2 teaspoons of iodized salt and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And also 2 cups of room temperature water or 70 degrees is if you don't have a thermometer, about room temperature water. It shouldn't be like chilly, but it should be, 70 degrees is a good temperature. And I'm going to be using semolina flour as well for dusting. That's when we're going to be doing the second part of the two-part process. If you don't
Yes.
if you don't have the semolina flour, that's fine. You could substitute
Yeah, I will be
regular.
using it. So,
Yeah, David's going to use
it
regular.
came out great last time. So.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I use the cornmeal and semolina flour for accents and extra touch, but if you don't have them, you can still make a delicious, delicious bread.
You know what my favorite thing about this recipe is too, is that I was making those rolls a couple weeks back. That's a completely different recipe, and it called for so much damn sugar. It was ridiculous, and I was
Mm,
like, "How is this like? This is terrible for you, you
mhm.
know?"
Well,
And
yeah,
I couldn't even really taste the sweetness of the rolls either. So like after it,
right. I mean,
and I
I
love
think
how this doesn't even call for sugar.
right, and a lot of bread recipes, like a white bread, will call for sugar and milk, and that's so you get a different kind of consistency, I believe,
Mm,
whatever you're looking for in the bread. And this one's more of like the like a baguette or a crunchy,
yeah.
crispy, country bread, white French bread.
Yeah, if you like that crust, then you're gonna love this.
Yeah, it's definitely like something for the crust. It's great for dipping and sauces and stuff. It's not like a sandwich bread, like those
Yeah,
white sandwich soft loaves that are very dense and squishy and soft.
yeah.
That's with the sugar and the milk and everything. We're not going to be
I
dealing
made a
with any
hell
of
of
that.
a sandwich with it, though. I will say.
Yeah, I mean, if you eat this
That's-
bread within 48 hours, you're going to have nice enough soft bread for sandwiches.
yeah,
It's great. It's a great bread.
yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go real quick through the list of things. So you need 4 cups of flour, half a teaspoon of yeast, 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and 2 cups of room temp or 70-degree water. Okay, you got
Yeah.
all your ingredients together now. I'm going to give you all about 30 minutes to go get all your ingredients. All right,
All
and
right.
we're back, and we got all our ingredients together, right? And okay, so this bread is, it said it's like a two-part, it's a 2-day thing. There's like an 18-hour time between making the dough and then folding the dough, preparing it for the oven. So the only downfall to this recipe is that you need the time and you need to schedule it. So I usually start around 6 p.m. It's a little bit later because we're having technical difficulties, but this way, if I start 6 p.m., by the next day around noon is when I start the next part of the process. So
Mhm.
whatever time you start, add 18 hours, and that's when the next part is. But the payoff is that it's no need, so you don't have to like mix and mix and mix and mix and mix. It's a very simple thing that you could just like whip together in 5 minutes, put it to the side, and then the next day you deal with all the mess, which is the dough. All right. Okay. So let's get cooking, right?
Let's do it.
All right.
Excited.
So let's grab our flour. I
And you
really
said
like,
2 cups of flour.
what's that?
4 cups of flour.
4 cups of flour. Yeah. And I really like this brand, this Red Mill. Um, we're not getting paid any endorsements, but I'm going to tell you because I like it. This Red Mill flour is really good, really tasty. And this is the unbleached
Right.
all-purpose organic.
The limited pickings where I go shopping.
Yeah, when you can get it. Like I went today and I picked up a bag of regular all unbleached flour because every time there's a spike in COVID or the weather, like today it's snowing. It's snowing right now here in Boston. And
Mm-hmm.
every time the weather gets bad, people like all of a sudden like get,
They get crazy.
they start hoarding all the stuff. So 4 cups, that's one.
Now, I remember you saying the last time we did this, you want to try to be super precise, right?
That's two. Well, thing about baking, unlike, other kind of cooking like soups and things, you very like you have to be pretty precise with temperatures and amounts. Otherwise, you know, you're not going to get the results that
you want.
are good. Yeah, it's not as forgiving. You're going to have to stick with a recipe and measurements. Four cups.
Woo! Oh, yeah.
Yeah, otherwise, your bread's going to be too dense or it's going to be too liquidy. And the thing about this dough is if it is too liquidy, you're going to have a really hard time tomorrow during the second step.
Oh, yeah.
Handling it.
It could get real messy otherwise.
Yeah, it could. I mean, it just sticks all over your hands and sticks all over your stuff, and it's just not as a pleasant experience. So what I do is, in the bowl, I start with just the dry stuff, right? So the flour and then the yeast. Now the yeast is scant half a teaspoon, which scant meaning just a little bit under, So it's not quite half a teaspoon, but just about, and kind of a smaller guy.
I think I got a teaspoon.
Should have half a teaspoon. Yeah.
I got 1/4 of a teaspoon.
Right.
Oh, half a teaspoon.
Right.
1/2 would be half.
Yes.
Yes, because it's yeah. Okay, good. We had this trouble last time, people. I'm not so good with the measurements.
Whatever, it's.
So just I'm sorry, David. Just 1/2.
So you fill up half and you take a little bit out, so it's not quite half,
yeah.
a little bit less. All right.
Okay.
The next dry ingredient are 2.
So just 1/2 of a teaspoon.
Right. Only 1/2. If you put too much, it's going to rise. It's going to be.
I want to ask you again, but that's the OCD.
That's okay, man. This is the fun part. This is why you get paid the big bucks. Salt. Don't forget your salt.
Mix, right?
Don't forget your salt.
Ooh, I almost forgot my salt.
So you need 2 teaspoons of salt.
2 teaspoons of salt.
2 teaspoons of salt.
That's the problem. That's 1 teaspoon, right? Teaspoon.
Yes. Hi, Octopus.
Hey, how you doing?
I got a pee.
Let everybody know.
Cut? No, that's all right. That's not live. That's a good thing. So I'm almost out of salt, so I have the salt shaker, this whole fucking thing in the jar. All right, good. It's 1.
Okay, so 2 teaspoons of salt.
2 teaspoons of regular iodized table salt. If you use sea salt, it's going to be too salty. If you use kosher salt, it's going to be too salty. You got to use regular iodized salt.
I have to buy salt tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm almost out of salt too. It's nuts. What's going on here? I got no salt.
2 teaspoons of salt.
And you got 2 teaspoons of salt. So you got the yeast, the flour, and the salt all in the bowl. Now, I like to incorporate all the dry stuff together before I add the liquids. So I'm going to use
a beater too.
Yeah, use a whisk or a beater to get all that evenly distributed. Because we're not kneading this very heavily, then I want to make sure that all the dry stuff is evenly distributed. All right, that's good. Cool. Fantastic. Now we got all our dry stuff all mixed together. Let's add in the liquids, right? So, olive oil. 2 tablespoons of olive oil.
Yeah.
Okay, you got 2 of these.
2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons. And I just pop it right in there on the top. Let's put that right in there.
All right.
And I throw that in there. I'm going to walk over here. All right. Now I'm going to take my 2 cups of room temperature water, or 70 degrees. I'm actually going to check right now.
Can you hand me my ear plug? Thank you.
Curious as to what temperature my water is at here. It's about 68 degrees. That's good. You know, when I first started this recipe, I followed it to a T, the temperature. But you know, the room temperature changes when you're proving the dough. Everything kind of has these variables that flop. As long as it's close to 70 degrees, not too cold, not hot, you should be okay. But,
Okay. So 2 cups?
2 cups of room temperature water. Now I don't use a whisk or a beater to mix this part because it's going to get really messy. Just use like a flat, you know, like a spatula,
Yeah.
silicone kind of thing, and you'll be much happier at the end. All right. So 2 cups of water in there.
Pour it in, right?
Just pour it in there. Now you want to be kind of precise with the water. You want to make sure you don't have too much, because then you wind up with a loose, liquid, flowing blob. You just kind of want to mix it together, scraping down all the flour on the side. Get it all mixed till you get a nice shaggy dough.
Whoops.
Whoops is not something you like to hear a lot, but it happens. You know, if you wind up putting too much water or something, you could always add a little more flour. But once you go down that rabbit hole of like adding water or adding flour, you know, you start messing with the proportions, and I can't guarantee you're going to wind up with a delicious or, you know, good bread. But you know, you can stray a little bit. This has some leeway. It'll bend a bit, but
It
not
should
too
feel
much.
pretty thick, right? When you're stirring it right now.
Yeah, it should feel, you know,
Not soupy at all.
no, it shouldn't be soupy. It should look just like this. Nice, kind of tacky.
Yeah. So this is good, right? Like that.
Oh, that looks great. Yeah.
Okay.
And just, you know, scrape down the sides so that you get all the dry stuff mixed in there. And you spent like a minute doing this. You get it nice and gooey, just a nice, it looks like taffy a little bit, you know?
Exactly. I'm getting a workout right now with it.
Well, that means you haven't been really exercising. This shouldn't be a workout, even though, you know, sometimes yawning, I pull muscles.
I'm fucking winded.
Yeah. You might want to hit the gym. Yeah, you want a nice, in the end, you want a nice, like, taffy, like, shaggy dough, like so. And, you know, one other thing I forgot to mention to have is saran wrap or plastic wrap.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because the next thing we do, now that you got, you know, you scraped all the stuff down off the sides and into the bowl, centered it off. Just all sitting in your bowl like that. And then we're going to take some saran wrap and just cover this little guy up.
Excellent.
I'm just going to wash my hands.
Do you feel like we're ready to cover?
Yeah, don't try to do this part with your hands, like you might see people making bread with their hands, because this is no knead bread. We don't need to. We're not going to knead it to the point where it's dry and soft. It's going to stay tacky like this, and you'll just get it all over your hands and lose a lot of your product.
righty.
Okay.
So now we're going to get ready to cover it?
Yeah. Now we're going to put the bread to bed. And we're going to let the dough prove for 18 hours. That's right. What? Okay, you heard me. 18 hours. It's a long time. And you want to keep it in a, I think the colder it is, the longer you. No, I don't know. I'm not gonna get into the technicals because I'll be incorrect and steer you the wrong way. But you don't want it to be against a window. You don't want it to be cold. You want it to be in like a nice, you know how these ovens have drawers in them. They're proving drawers, or like you have a bread drawer in your kitchen to keep it dark and to keep it kind of like not warm but not cold.
Yeah. I kept mine on my kitchen table last time in
Yeah.
like kind of just a room temperature room.
Mm-hmm.
And, I usually keep the lights off when I'm not in my kitchen, so it's mostly dark. And it seemed to do all right.
Yeah, the darkness is not a big deal. It's really just how the room is. And I found a place in my apartment where I tried one spot and it wasn't as good as the other spot. So I'm also superstitious. So now it came out good in one place.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna,
it's got to be that spot.
yeah,
All right.
and that's part of the fun. You wanna personalize the whole process. So you find your spot and you take your loaf and you say goodnight to it. I put it here.
Say.
And we let that baby sit for 18 hours. So right now it's 6:30 p.m. here on the East Coast of the United States. We're going to go up until 12:30 noon tomorrow is going to be the time of our next step, which is going to be folding the dough, preparing it for baking. And so, I mean, I would and that next part is like span over 2.5 hours or 3 hours of time, right? This is I'm making this sound a lot more confusing than it needs to be.
Yeah, and it's not like you're working for 2 to 3 hours. It's little intervals of work, but you got to let time in between.
Right. I'm gonna run. You know what? I'm gonna run through the steps really quick, but we'll do them tomorrow. It's going to seem like right away for you listening, but it's tomorrow for us. Anyway, so when we see the bread again at 12:30, what we're going to do is we're going to fold it, and we're going to like fold it like once, and then fold it again, fold it over like a two-piece of paper, and then we're going to cover that for 15 minutes, and then after 15 minutes, we put the dough into a ball, and then we put that ball on a nice piece of like cloth, like a kitchen towel, so you have a nice clean towel ready. We're going to take that ball.
Brand new one.
We're going to, oh, how exciting. That's another fun thing. If you love making bread, you're going to all of a sudden start like getting all this bread baking stuff. Okay. And then we're going to take the ball.
Speaking of, I'm sorry. Go on.
What's that?
I was going to say the vessel, but go on. We'll get to that.
Okay,
after.
We'll get to the vessel. Yeah. We're going to take our ball. We're going to put it in the cloth. We're going to sprinkle the cloth with flour. And we're going to put the ball down. And we're going to cover the ball. And then we're going to put that away for 2 hours. Right? And then after 2 hours, we're going to take that ball, we're going to put it in a vessel. And the vessel is important, like a good cooking vessel. David, show us your vessel.
Yeah. So I just got this one delivered the other day. And it has a top to it, which the top is very important,
right?
As David said. And this one's actually a little small. It'd be great to have two of these. But
I don't know. I think that's a good size.
A bit bigger.
I think that's a good size because
I think it's like 5.5 by 15 or 17.
That's a good looking.
I do want to say, I want to show them the other thing though.
Yeah.
So last time we did this,
right?
I didn't have one,
right?
At that point, so I cooked it in just a pan,
right?
And then David had me make a tinfoil dome for it to use as the cover.
Yes. So David made a tinfoil hat.
And I gotta say, it came pretty damn well. Yeah. So
I'm
very excited to see what happens coming out in something that is a appropriate for it.
Right. Exactly. I mean, you're gonna find that you can make bread in any oven safe, Pyrex or bakeware or cookware, whatever, ceramic, glass, whatever. But you're gonna find your favorite, and they all have different results because I've been using this clay Dutch oven, which you can make like casseroles or whatever in, and it's also for baking. And I like the results of this one, but I also use um, this. I've also, used cast iron, you know, which
Mm-hmm.
which is
Mm-hmm.
really
Do you
nice.
find a big difference between when you use the cast iron versus like taste wise or cook
Not
wise?
not no taste wise, it's just a little bit different on the crust. You're getting a little bit of I enjoy the crust better on this clay Dutch oven. Something
Yeah.
something about the moisture and the steaming, and I don't know the science behind it, but all I know is I like this one better. So I stick with this one more, you know.
Yeah.
But like David said,
Is,
you can use.
does Sobchak use clay too?
I think he used a cast iron.
Cast iron. Yeah, yeah,
You know, I don't remember. I honestly don't remember. We were drinking and smoking a lot during those visits,
yeah.
and I can't recall exactly. But all I remember is that bread was so good that
It was
I
delicious.
really
Yeah.
pushed him to teach me how to make it. And thank goodness, man, because like I said, it was right before pandemic started, and being able to get fresh bread it just became so difficult. And I bought a bunch of flour prior to it happening. So I was like, when the flour shortage hit, the great flour shortage of 2020, and the great yeast shortage, like it became difficult to get yeast and flour. I was stocked already. You know, but now
Yeah.
it's much easier to find these things like dry yeast and flour, and the bread
Oh
it's
yeah. Yeah.
just
I've had no trouble
you know
as of lately. In the beginning, I remember not seeing it anywhere, like you said, but
right.
now it's in abundance.
Well, you shouldn't have too much trouble getting these ingredients. All right, so I mean that's that. You know, you so when we meet again, all we're gonna need is a towel to do this. Oh, when we fold the dough, you will need a good like cutting board or surface, a nice clean surface to do the folding on. Something that like a marble top if you have in your kitchen, or a cutting board, a wooden or plastic, whatever cutting board, and and that's that. We'll figure it out as we go. I don't know, man. If you don't have any of these things, you're fucked. You got nothing. You can make this bread with anything, like whatever tools we're using here. We either picked up along the way while after figuring out that we like baking bread. But the nice thing is, as long as you got these four ingredients or five ingredients, what is it? One, two, three, four, five with the water.
Oh, all
You
the
know,
recipe is.
yeah, you're good. You're gonna be good to go.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so let's meet up again tomorrow and we'll play with our dough. Yeah,
Yeah.
that sound good to you?
Yeah. Sounds beautiful.
I really hope that this recording works out.
For
it's
round
the
two.
it's the next day now. Ah, goodness. And yeah, I was telling you a minute ago that we got a shit ton of snow. So after we're done with this, in between the bread stuff, I'm excited to go and unsnow the car. Yeah. No, we have guys that come around because we're a part of a condo, so there's
Oh
there's a
yeah.
large parking lot that the guys come and clean. But if I don't like unsnow the car before they come, then there's just big clumps of snow surrounding my car, like a chalk outline. So I
Wow.
wanted to get them before they came, but they were here at like 7 in the morning. I was like, no, forget it, fuck it. Oh goodness, do you have a nice night?
Mm-hmm. Fabulous night of working. It's up until like 5:30.
That's that's nice.
Finished the piece. Well, didn't finish the piece, but got first pass done. So
Good.
yeah, it's
I'm
good.
jealous. I'm jealous that you could work so much.
Yeah, well, I
I'm
mean,
in more
it
trouble.
comes in waves, you know.
Yeah. Well, I need a wave, man. I'm jonesing for some
That's,
waves. All right. Well, we left off yesterday making a nice shaggy dough for
Yeah,
ourselves to sit for 18 hours. Have you peeked at yours?
I'm a little nervous, I must say, because I feel like I missed something. Because
Uh-oh.
my dough is
What?
not as bubbly.
Bubbly.
It's
Oh,
actually really not bubbly at all.
it's not bubbly.
You know, how
Well, let me
you
look
remember
at it.
how like last time we had
Yeah.
all those little bubbles
Yeah,
rise?
it's supposed to have bubbles.
No
You put
bubbles.
you put your
You got two
yeast in, right?
bubbles.
Let me look at it. Let me see it. Yeah, it's not quite as bubbly, but it's
Not
risen.
bubbly at all, really. But
It's risen a good amount.
yeah,
I'm gonna
I
grab
feel
my
like
guy.
how much I assume the yeast makes it bubbly. How much yeast did you say again?
Well, bubbly it acts with the flour. I half a teaspoon, a little less than half a
Okay, that's
teaspoon.
okay. I was
No, I
nervous.
was watching. You put all the ingredients. You put the salt. You put the
Okay,
yeast, and you put the
yeah, yeah.
flour. It'll be fine. I mean,
Well, we will find out, people.
take a look at that.
Yeah,
Can you see
yours
that
is
all right?
bubbly.
That's
You
bubbly.
got the bubbles.
All right. Well, I was looking a little bit more into the cold and warm temperature thing, and according to my notes here, it says really sloppily. Of course, these notes are like whatever. A couple less hours for warm weather, and a couple, or maybe a couple more for cold. So if you're in
Okay.
a warmer climate, you check your bread a little sooner, and if it's very cold and where your bread is, maybe you could do rise a little bit longer. But yeah, you should have a bunch of bubbles. It should look like a little hyper
Hmm.
Swiss cheese. But as long as it's holding together, it's not all loose and
Yeah,
liquidy. I
see,
think
that's
it'll be
good.
fine. Well, we'll see. It's interesting. We'll see what the structure of the bread is after we cook it.
Yeah.
But now it's on to the next step, which is folding.
All
We're
right.
going to fold this guy over and then let it rest for 15 and then make a ball. So our next, I'm just going to do this.
I maneuver my camera a little bit. Huh. Oh, that's why.
So our next step is, Jesus, where are we going? All right, we're gonna get ourselves a nice clean surface. Make sure your hands are clean for this too, because we're gonna be
Mm-hmm.
touching some stuff here. And time to bust out a little bit of flour as well. So whatever surface you're working on, you want to spread some flour on there.
All right. And you said
Sprinkle,
not too much, right?
yeah, sprinkle a thin layer. It doesn't have to be like a whole lot, but you just want to coat it.
Just like it just lost cocaine.
Because your dough is going to be a little bit oozy. So it's good to have a little extra flour handy in case your dough turned out to be more liquidy than you want it to be.
Oh yeah.
You could add a little flour to it to get it to behave itself. Need some more coffee. Mm. Oh yeah, you want to be real jacked up for this part.
Sounds like a plan.
Oh yeah. Let's take a look see
All
here.
right.
You uncover your dough. Save the saran wrap because we're going to use that. So you pull off the saran wrap. Take a look at the dough. It should be nice and bubbly, like we were saying, like a soda pop. Honey bubbly like the soda. All right. You got your surface nice and floured up,
Got my
right?
floured up
Good.
surface.
Now I use a little silicone scraper
Oh yeah, get my spatula out.
just to help peel it off all the edges, right?
All right.
And your hands are clean and dry, and you can actually put a little flour in your hands for this next part too. It's gonna be touching stuff. All right. And now we're going to sort of pour our
And you said
dough.
kind of do it across last time,
Yeah,
right?
just to cover the surface, because we're going to fold it over. So you want to pour it out like a sheet of paper. on the thing, on the board or whatever surface you're using. Get all those glutinous strands. Should be nice and gluey and gooey.
Yeah, it's pretty gooey.
If your dough winds up flowing too much and you feel it like pouring over the sides, you got too much water in there. You could add some flour, sprinkle some on until you get like enough on there it feels manageable. But don't overdo it. Don't panic and overflour your dough. Then you'll just have a yucky tasting bread. So I kind of spread it out.
Spread it out a little bit more?
Yeah, spread it out so covers the board. You have a nice sheet of dough. Like looks like a big flatbread, like you're making a Sicilian pizza. Love Sicilian pizza. I miss Stromboli in New York. I know it's not there. Nothing's there. Nothing's in New York.
I love Stromboli. Haven't had that in years at this point. Or at least a year.
A little more flour in my hands for this part.
All right.
And now we're going to fold it over 2 times like a sheet of paper, right?
So, get a little bit of flour myself.
Yep. Yeah, put it in there, David.
Okay.
All right. Now I'm just, with nice, floured up hands, grabbing the corners, pulling them, and just pulling over. You see, it's fighting me a little bit. You fold it in half once, grab the extra bits, then I fold it in half.
Oh God, it feels
again. Right.
Oh man.
And then I like to fold it from the other corners again and again.
Okay. Right.
You can see it's a little bit sticky. It's fine. And now with that saran wrap that you saved, you're going to kind of just drop it on top of the dough and loosely cover that up.
Okay. Trying to get some of this access of the board.
Yeah, I'm going to tilt my camera a little bit. Oh, yeah. See that, baby? Notice it. Not a great angle. I hope you can see that okay.
Very boogery. It's like slime.
Yeah, it's gluey. It's like yucky. A little slimy. Ectoplasm.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm going to stick my bowl in the sink.
All right, so now let's talk about this.
Okay. Now, set a timer. Hold on. I'm going to 15 minutes. So I'm set a timer, 5, 10, 15. Right, good. We're on time here. That's good.
I'm going to set my timer as well. All right.
All right.
And now, is this where we preheat the oven or we wait?
No, we wait. No, we preheat the oven after the next step. We wait an hour and a half. So we have time before we're preheating the oven.
All right.
So this is going to sit for 15 minutes, and then we're going to ball it up. And that's when we get our kitchen towel ready.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I'll probably just buy me some brand new ones. So I'm very excited because last time Stoupakis had to use an actual bath towel.
Oh, use a bathroom towel? They have too much cling.
I know.
Too much doing it.
It worked though, but it was. I'm sure there's little fibers in there.
Yeah, that's the thing. You don't want to do that because the hairs.
Yeah, it was still delicious.
Were there a lot or just a few?
Oh, I don't know. They probably burnt off in the oven. Sure. But yeah, I probably got me some nice new ones.
Awesome.
This one has a cock on it.
Oh, nice.
There's that one.
For people who are just listening and not watching, it's a rooster. It's a rooster.
I didn't think about
that. How could you not think about that?
Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah. All right. Well, this is where you and I are going to differ slightly. Is that I'm going to use semolina flour for this next step. which you should pick some up next time you have a chance.
Yeah, I'll pick some up this week.
Makes a nice little difference. I'm excited to see how your new dish thing goes because I was saying when you were washing dishes, I don't think you heard. I was saying that I thought that the pan that you got was ceramic, but it's actually stone.
Yeah.
That's even better.
Okay. Yeah. I was saying to you, I think maybe before, I was saying to Prowl, whatever, but man, no, actually, I was just talking to a Prowl about it, but boy, they can be expensive. This one was $60, but like some of them, I mean, just to get that one, if you wanted a different color,
Right.
Made it from 60 to 100.
Really, just different colors.
Then there was other ones I was looking at that were like 150, 200, 300. Like it's crazy.
I mean, it's an obsession-based thing too, making bread. Yeah. So people who really want their custom kitchen.
Yeah, they want a beautiful. Yeah, they want They don't mind spending the money.
The color scheme. If it matters so much in your kitchen, you're going to spend a couple extra bucks.
Yeah, but which we've learned, you can actually make it out of a fucking metal.
Metal. You could use a pie pan, but I think you're going to notice a difference in your crust, and also in the way that it cooks because the absorption of heat through the stone is different through the metal. Then you might wind up with a more even and I don't know, maybe not as aggressive of heat.
Yeah.
You know.
And also too, I'm hopefully hoping an actual loaf this time. Where last time it was it was delicious, but it was very flat.
Yeah, you had the flat.
This is the pan that I had,
Yeah, it was too spread out. You needed a lot more dough if you wanted a poofy. But you should play around with adding extra yeast a little bit more. You know, get a rise and shorter times of proving and all that. And I know we should make several loaves of bread because we're not doing anything kind of fancy with this one, like adding rosemary or olives.
Cheese or olives.
Oh, yeah, black olives and rosemary are really fun with this particular bread. Really tasty.
Oh man.
Do you have any herbs in the house?
Well, my mouth water thinking about that.
Do you have any dried herbs right now?
No, I don't. I was gonna get them and then I didn't, and then I kind of felt like I just wanted a normal bread again.
Right.
You know. But I was thinking about too, like it would be delicious too, is mixing it in could be really good too. But I like thinking about that. You sprinkle a little cheese on the top after it's almost already cooked, and I put it back in for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Have it burnt just on the top of the crust. Ooh.
Yeah, that's good.
So,
with the cheese, I made cheese bread once. You cut it into tiny cubes, and with the next step that we're about to do, balling it, mixing it up. Or actually, I would do it when I'm folding because that really incorporates it in there. So that last part we just did, if we threw dried, like chopped rosemary and stuff like that in there, or fresh rosemary, that would be the perfect time to do that.
Yeah.
You know, so mix it all up. But the cheese, you mix it up when folding so it cooks on the inside. And then in the last 5 minutes, like you said, throw a little on top and just get that crispy burned, slightly burned cheese on top.
Delicious.
Oh, Lord. We're going to have to do this again and again. We're back. 15 minutes have passed, right? So you got your towel ready, nice clean kitchen towel. And what you want to do is spread some flour on a thin layer on that towel for your shaggy dough. I'm using semolina flour, a little different from the unbleached all-purpose, but you can use the all-purpose flour as well.
And you want to get like a good covering, right?
A thin layer. It not a thick layer, like transparent little. Let's see. Could you know can you even see the surface of what you're working on your other camera, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Looks beautiful.
Here it just looks like you're making a bed.
Yeah, just making motions.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Awesome.
All righty.
Okay. So you got your towel all ready.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to grab this so I can
We take off both.
see. Now what we're going to do is take off our saran wrap, which you can discard by now. You don't need any more.
I feel like a lot more sticky.
I get a little more flour on my hands.
All right. I could discard the saran
Yeah,
wrap,
you can
right?
get rid of the saran wrap. A little flour, pinch of flour. I put a pinch of flour around the board as well, just because I'm going to be working it, right? You're going to be rolling into that a little bit. So got a bit going on. Keep it dry.
All right.
Okay, you ready for this next part?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, now we're gonna make a little ball, right?
Yep.
So I'm gonna move kind of quick, right?
I'm gonna watch
So
it first.
just grabbing corners, moving it into the middle, moving into the middle. You know, you can grab a little flour from the board if you need it. Making a nice little ball, right? Pinch in the middle, into the middle, making a little ball. And then I'm going to pick up the ball on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And if it doesn't work, you just keep rolling until you get it. Grab its little bottom and seam side down, flop it onto the towel.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's okay if it's a little messy. It's not supposed to be perfectly smooth and clean. And you get that on your towel like so, right?
All right.
I'm going to do a quick finger rinse before I start handling my towel.
Right.
You know, because I don't want to get my towel all dirty. Covered in sticky dough, then it winds up everywhere. And
It's pretty messy, right?
What's that?
It's pretty messy.
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah.
And you start going down that rabbit hole if you get that dough on stuff and it starts getting everywhere. Okay, here's a little thing I like to do. A little trick to do. All that extra flour that's around the side, right? I kind of just like pop the towel up.
Ooh.
And it coats the sides and the top a little bit, right?
Yeah.
So that when you do this next part, you fold over the towel, cover him up, put him to bed, scooch him to the side, little fella, give him a little spank because he's been bad. Bad, yes. And that guy is set to rest for 2 hours.
All right, 2 hours.
2 hours. But what you want to do now is set your timer for 1 hour and a half. So I'm going to say 1 hour and a half, which will be in 1 hour, it'll be so 2:15.
Okay.
2:15.
2:15. Okay.
And so in an hour and a half, we're going to preheat our oven.
So 400, right?
To 450. Hold on, let me do one thing at a time here.
For 1 hour.
Hold on a second. I'm doing one thing at a time, otherwise I get confused. Okay. So in an hour and a half, we're going to preheat our oven to 450 degrees. So you make sure that your oven doesn't have extra stuff in it, but you preheat it with the vessel inside. So what I'm going to do now is put, here's my top and here's my bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I just leave it in the oven because it's going to be preheating with that inside of it. So we're preheating for half an hour. Usually ovens take, 10, 15 minutes to preheat, but we want to do a preheat for a full half hour with the vessel inside the oven.
Get it nice and hot.
Yeah, get it nice and hot so it's hot already. You're not putting the dough into a cold vessel. And also, I use just a regular conventional baking oven. If you have convection oven, if you have a setting to do it just to regular bake, just use that. I tried in a convection once and the bread burnt. So the time is a little bit different. So if you're using a convection oven, just keep an eye on there's going to be some differences. Yes, David.
Question for you.
Yeah.
When do you pre-oil your pot?
Pre-oil? You don't pre-oil anything.
I thought you didn't we rub a coat of oil around it last time? No?
No. You don't oil your pot at all. So
Okay.
that answers
Scratch that, people. Don't touch your pot.
No, what I do is I sprinkle just a tiny bit of cornmeal on the bottom.
Okay, but you do that after you take it out.
You do that. No, yeah, before you put the bread in, because otherwise you're gonna have burnt cornmeal on the bottom of your your vessel. So when we put the dough in, I sprinkle a little cornmeal on the bottom just for flair, right? You don't have to put flour. Don't add any more flour because then it's just gonna be too weird and floury.
Like putting sequence on.
It's kind of like, yeah, you're bedazzle your bread a little bit, but we're gonna bedazzle the top with I like to put like flaky white Maldon salt, you know. So the top of the crust has a little bit of a salty crust. Like I like salt bagels, I like salty bread, so I add that little bit. You can do that too, but that's at the next step. And so in 1 hour and a half, your timer will go off. Preheat your oven. In 2 hours, we meet up again and we transfer the dough into our hot vessel. So have some oven mitts ready, have a clear surface ready to work on with lots of space, and that's that. And I will see you in 2 hours, right?
2 hours. All right.
Yeah.
450, 2 hours.
In what? No, okay. In 1 hour and a half.
450
No.
When it hits the hour and a half.
Hour and a half. Preheat your oven to 450.
Yes.
Jesus, this is tough. In 2 hours, we're going to meet up to put the dough inside the oven. All right? Okay?
Okay. So, dough inside the oven, hit 450. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Okay. I love you. I'll see you in 2 hours.
All right, 2 hours. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. You good?
How's it going? Welcome back.
Hey, it's been 2 hours now. Hopefully you all preheat your oven for half an hour at 450. And now it's time to start dealing with the hot stuff. Now, for me, I always have to remind myself things are hot so I don't grab and touch and burn myself. But yeah, get some mitts ready and a nice surface area ready to deal with your hot vessels.
Oh yeah, I gotta get my board out again.
All right, so
you just
let's get into the oven, and carefully with your mitts, of course. Get your vessel top and bottom ready.
Whoa!
Hot.
So I just melted my glove to it.
What? No.
Yeah. Wow.
What is your oven glove made out of? Plastic?
I don't know. I think it's got a little bit of plastic on it, maybe.
That's not what an oven glove should have.
Yeah, well, like it's got like the grip thing.
Oh, yeah.
Don't do that.
Anyway, yeah, it's a hot surface. So what I do is I now sprinkle just a pinch of cornmeal on the bottom. By the way, keep your oven closed while you're doing this so you don't let the heat out, of course. Just in case. All right. Now remember, you got hot items all around you, so watch your fingers, wrists. All right. Now what I'm going to do is pull old LOAF, which probably ballooned up a little bit. Just a pinch of stuff, not too much.
Oh, maybe a little too much, but
that's okay. That's all right. But a pinch is all you need.
Just a pinch will do it. Now to open up my loaf.
Yeah, unfold it, and you should see it should be a nice balloon, wobbly, blobby little guy. Let's see if we get this guy. Oh yeah.
All right.
So it should be a bit of a blob, and the light is so strong in here, it's crazy. Dim it up a little bit. Oh. Getting better. That's just this iPad is stupid. All right, so you got your blob.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much what you're going to do carefully, keeping your vessel close, is make like how we did the ball before, how it kind of pinched up the corners to the middle
Yeah.
to make a ball. You're going to ball it up so that we have something to stick our hands underneath,
Underneath
grab,
it.
and we're going to flip and drop it into the vessel. So pull up the sides like this into the middle, and quickly, grab the bottom. It'll let go and drop it. Now it doesn't have to be pretty, and it won't be, but that's okay. So long as you drop that into that vessel like that. We're dropped. Oh, that is so bright. Darken. All right, good.
Mine's coming out early.
Turn my lights off. All right, did you get her in there?
Yeah.
All right.
It's not like perfect in there.
No,
but
yeah, it's just gonna kind of like be a blob in there,
Oh.
Yeah, take an aerial so you see. Camera on this is the worst. Okay.
All right, I gotta rinse off my hands.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's a blob and sit there. Yeah, give your hands a little bit of a get that excess goo off. And what I do real quick is with a sharp knife, you can make scores along the top, or with a pair of scissors.
Scissors? Yeah, we did that
I like
last
to
time,
use.
I remember.
What I'm going to do with scissors is I make like little V's like this.
And kind of pull it back, right?
Yeah, pull them up and back, and that kind of leaves some sort of messy. It's not very clean. It's not going to look like a French bakery in here, but it makes nice little patterns that crisp up.
Oh, it's more design purpose? I thought it was to help it like air out or something.
No, it's more designy. Or you could do things like, with a sharp knife, make slits like that. This knife isn't very sharp. It should just cut right through it. Plus, this dough is a little bit gooey. But you make little lines like that. And whatever. Okay. That's optional. I don't know if I was fucking recording. Anyway. Okay. Now, remembering that things are hot, grab your lid carefully with your mitts. Cover up your bread. I'm taking a bit longer than it should because you don't want it to cool, but for purposes of showing, can move a little slower. Okay, and then open your oven. Pop that guy into the center. You want it sitting in the middle of the oven there. Center rack, whatever. Kind of. Looks like that. In the middle of the rack there. Sitting pretty. Close it up. And put a timer for 30 minutes. Dooby.
Now we set it for half an hour?
Yes, sir. 30. We had 30 minutes.
How dare you not wear your apron? And you have flour on your shirt.
Do I?
Oh yeah, I got a handprint.
Well, it's a little scary. My plastic melted to the side of my the thing. So.
What plastic?
Well, you see how this stuff is like a rubbery thing?
But to the side of what?
To the side of my vessel.
Your vessel.
Or my
It sounds dirty.
my vessel.
It's a vessel.
Yeah.
Well, in your mouth, you said vessel.
He's getting steamy. He's getting steamy. He's losing his top. So now our hot vessel is inside our hot oven.
Yeah.
Yeah, for half an hour. We got 30 minutes to kick around, and then in 30 minutes we're going to take off the top.
Okay.
And
Perfect.
then we let it sit for another, because everybody's oven could be different. I would check in 25 minutes.
Yeah,
But-
that's what I did last time, and yeah.
But it's pretty much half an hour.
Salt.
What?
I didn't do the salt.
Oh, either did I. You could do that now. Do you want to do it quickly? Do you want salt on top?
You can do it. I'm nervous to keep touching that, so
Yeah, I'm
good.
gonna leave it this time too. It's fine.
Yeah.
There's enough salt in the bread too.
That would be. Why don't you explain though what you would do at that point if you did want to put the
Oh.
salt on it?
Okay. At that point, before we close the lid, we would sprinkle. Just I use the big white flaky stuff. With Malden salt, big flakes of salt like that. Very, very salty. But you don't need a lot of it. Oh, that's good. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take it out. I'm gonna screw up my bread probably because you don't want to mess with this lid opening and closing business. But you want to do this now while it's still soft. I'm going to sprinkle just along the top. A couple of shakes. Close it up. Sorry to disturb. Fucking process. Yeah, opening, closing of ovens and vessels is not recommended, but that's right. Don't mess with the vessel.
Don't mess with the vessel.
Yeah, that's really salty. But that's going to add a really nice touch to that bread. And you could do that with the fresh rosemary or any sort of herbs like thyme. Make that bread taste good. Sage. Experimenting is fun. You could do all kinds of flavors on it. So 30 minutes, it's still going. I will talk to you in 28 minutes. You want to do that?
All right, everybody. We'll see you back in half an hour, right?
Yeah. And we'll uncover it together.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Then. Oh, that's mine.
Everybody's beeping. Mine beep. All right. So don't
right.
forget your gloves. Now the timer's going off. Carefully pull out your vessel with your bread. All right. Now we're just going to open it. Remove the lid. Oh, look at that. Look at this guy popping up. See all those cuts and stuff. Made all these marks. And at this point, it should still be pretty light colored. I'm just going to go ahead and pop mine right back in the oven right away. So you don't want to wait too long. And
mine looks amazing.
And I want to reset my timer for 30 ASAP. I do mine 30, I'm pretty sure. Get all the hot stuff in your kitchen out of the way so you don't burn yourself, okay? All right. So, now it's for another 30. So you said it looked good. I didn't get a sneak peek at yours.
It looks great. Hold on, let me see if I can have the oven light.
Yeah, I don't have an oven light. Otherwise, I'd show you. Oh, it's nice.
Can you see it?
Yeah, looking good. Look at that loaf.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to rise that much.
Yeah, that's what happens. It's pretty exciting.
It rose.
Yeah, it pops up. And all those bubbles and stuff, the structure pops and expands.
I thought because I didn't get very many bubbles in my dough that it wasn't going to do that.
No. Well,
I was nervous. I thought it was going to be flat.
Nice and puffy.
Vessel's perfect too. Well, Dutch oven is perfect for it too.
You can call it vessel. It's all right, just because people are weird with the word vessel.
Vessel. Yeah, it's great.
Cool. All right, so
it's
30.
Already brown a little too, so
yeah,
I might check on mine in like 20.
Yeah, it should be just like a beige, a light thin crust happening, on the top. But check it in 25. But don't be afraid to let it go a little dark. You don't want to burn it, but you want to get a little darker.
Yeah.
So make sure the center is cooked.
Crusts.
Get a good crust and make sure the center is nice and cooked. All right, I'll see you in a little less than 30, okay?
All right, buddy. Hello.
Hi. So
Hello.
you checked your bread at 25 minutes, and you said that it would look done.
Woo! Yeah.
Can I check it?
I actually checked it, and I still had 16 minutes left, so 24 minutes. I came in here, I smelled a little smell, and I was like, "Oh my god, Thank God I took it out when I did.
Really?
Because
Let's have a look.
it looks perfect to me. I mean, it's a
Let me
little
see.
dark here, teeny
No,
bit dark, but I mean,
no.
it
That's
looks
fine.
delicious.
I think it might need to go a little bit longer.
You think? Oh my God, it's starting to get pretty dark though, man.
No. That's fine. That's fine. I said like a little bit of this dark burn. I'm worried that the inside won't be fully cooked.
You think so?
Well, you were only in the oven there for how
Well,
long?
last time I took it out around this time too.
Okay.
So there was still 16 minutes left.
16 minutes left. That means
Wait. No, there couldn't have been 16 minutes left. Shit.
Because right now I have another
how
12
many minutes
minutes.
do you have left?
I have 13 minutes left.
Yeah. So maybe there was probably like a good.
So you had it in for another 15 minutes, let's say.
Yeah.
So you put it in a total of 45 minutes instead of an hour. I mean, I'm. How was the center of your bread last time? Even though it was flatter, though. That's the thing. It was a
It
little
was
bit
good.
flatter.
It was perfect.
Okay. Well, look. If it's a little doughy in the middle, the best thing to do, you're just going to let it rest anyway right now. If it's a little doughy, you just throw it in the toaster every time you make a slice, you know?
I just feel like it's pretty burnt, no? I mean,
No,
it's
that's
not
not burnt.
isn't bad.
It should get dark. You definitely like a nice darkness. I mean, it could gone, I'd say, another 5 minutes.
Okay, let me put it back in then.
All right, well, throw it in carefully. Don't burn yourself. And you know, the whole in and out thing, it kind of screws with the cooking. But
yeah,
I'd rather you not have a raw bread.
Me too.
Plus, the temperature of the oven's going to be off. You turned your oven off already?
Yeah. I mean, just for literally a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
It's at 425 right now.
All right, yeah, pop it in for another 5 minutes. Because I literally have 11 minutes left, and I mean, I'll take a peek at mine to see. Oh, no, mine's not.
It looked like I was going to burn the shit out of it.
No, you know, it's good to check, but you know that little bit of singeing on top could be misleading.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind burntness either. I mean, but
Sure. And you're definitely on bacon, not on broiler, right?
Oh yeah, bacon. Yeah.
All right, good.
Yeah.
So Jack, you never know.
A pro asked, do you have a gas oven or a electric?
We have a gas oven. Are you gas or electric?
Yeah, gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's oven also is a little bit different. That's why it's good to check.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised that in 15 minutes, you know, it's already browning on top like that. Because mine right now still looks light on top.
Really? I guess it just cooks really hot.
Yeah, and then also you have
what? Maybe next time I lower the temperature a little bit. Cook slower.
Yeah, if you change the temperature, you're changing the times. I would sooner change the times.
Yeah, so keep it on 450, but just change the.
Yeah, and also it just seemed to singe a little bit in the top middle over there. So maybe because you have such a long cooking vessel, you want to make sure that that bread spreads across the whole thing flat, you know, so that there's no center poof.
Yeah, yes.
Because it seems like
all the way across, it just, it's down.
Yeah, it seems like the ends are a little bit lower and not as brown. Listen, I'm glad that your audio is cutting out so we don't have that part, but you know, whatever it is he said. Oh, Lord. That should be fine. I mean, like I said, if it's a little bit raw in the middle, you could just put in a toaster oven whenever you're making a slice.
Yeah, if I had a toaster oven, but yeah.
Or a toaster. You don't have a toaster?
No, I got the.
No, I know what someone did for their birthday.
Get a new toaster.
I know what David needs for his birthday, everybody. Maybe Cereal could send you a toaster.
Many months away.
Oh,
thankfully.
Well, you could lie.
That's true. That's true. I'm gonna
Mhm.
buy some more new mitts tonight, though. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I'm surprised that this like grip.
Yeah, that it
uh,
burnt. I mean, they're
Ju-
like, I'm sure they're like, $4 mitts.
it's so stupid to have something that melts on an oven mitt. I mean, what? Maybe
Oh,
that's
right?
Juliet said those would
Yeah,
be good for shoveling. You could take them out to shovel snow with.
there you go. We're just slapping somebody. Duel challenge.
Unfortunately, I know that you're only stuck in your apartment with a Prella, and if you did that with a Prella, I think she would kick your ass.
Oh, fucked up.
All right, so that's preheated back to 450.
Yeah, and it's got a minute and a half left.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry
How
about
much you got left on yours?
on mine. I have 7 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay.
It's really like a huge difference, and we're cutting it close to four. Like I told you, at 4 o'clock, there's since
Yeah,
my
you got it.
house
Yeah.
is also a psychology
Juliet's. Yeah.
lab. We have to cut
Mm-hmm.
it, but I think we're going to make it right at the buzzer, and we could do a taste test later today.
Yeah.
Do a little slicing into the bread and do a taste test together.
That's good.
Because I want to see. I mean, I want to get a good look at your bread, especially this new
You
cooking.
want to get a good look at my loaf?
I want to look at your loaf up close. I want to get a real, so I could smell it from here. Mmm. Smells good. Gross. All right, get this guy going. Okay.
You know what I thought about also that oil thing earlier when I was telling you about rubbing the pan with the oil? That's
Right.
because when I was making the bread that I made, those
Right.
rolls, I forgot
Yes.
that's what you had to do. You coat it, the Pyrex with the oil.
Yeah, and also a lot of baking, muffins and cakes and stuff. You
Yeah.
do a lot of greasing the pan because
Mm-hmm.
when you're working with sugar and with milk, they
It
burn.
sounds like
And
code, greasing the pan.
when you work with sugar and milk, it can burn and stick
I'm
to
gonna
the
keep it in a
center.
little bit longer.
Well, I'm telling you, did you take a
I'll
look?
keep an eye on it. I mean, it's definitely golden up, but I am nervous that, like you said, it's not going to be cooked all the way in the middle.
All right, adding another 5 minutes.
Yeah, but I'm just going to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, because mine's done in 5 minutes and 30 seconds, so it's going to be around the same time. I'm telling you, stick to the 30 minutes approximate.
Yeah.
To be sure that the center of your bread is.
Yeah, last time I think
cooked.
I took it out in 25, but like you said, it was a lot much more flatter.
Right.
It's not
right.
big like this.
Right. Yeah, you want to be sure that the center is cooked.
Yeah.
And also, you could be smelling when it's burning is the bottom of the bread too. Because the bottom gets a more burnt crust to it, and all that flour that you threw on the bottom is going to burn.
Mm-hmm.
So I only sprinkle too. You don't want to put too much, but enough to get a nice little like powdery crust.
So about this stuff.
I can tell.
I was like asking me the other day when I was cooking her dinner and stuff, and I made a nice little dinner.
Yeah.
But she was like, "Did you enjoy it? Did you relax?"
Right.
I'm like, yeah, I guess so.
Well, listen,
everything on me is like 900 miles an hour. I think the only time I take time on things is when I paint. That's it.
Right.
And when I work with power tools and shit.
Yeah. Well, it's a different process too. I get really like amped up in the kitchen too, and it might seem like I'm not enjoying myself, but it's one of the most relaxing things for me.
Yeah, you get lost in it.
I love it. I love cooking. It's my favorite other. When I can't paint, when I can't make art, when I can't do something creative and spontaneous in the studio, I like to cook.
Mm-hmm.
As do a lot of artists I know, like people like Mark Sobczak. He likes
Mhm.
cooking. He's a really good cook.
Yeah, I cooked for a long time.
Yeah. Even Daniel Kern, he likes cooking too. He's a big fan. It's a good, very similar process in the studio, cooking,
Yeah.
I find.
I'm definitely not much like. I mean, I'm like a guy that will like go buy the pre-made raviolis and pre-made sauce, and then add a little extra bits into it.
Oh, there's an art to that too.
But
There's an art to that because, I mean, raviolis, that's a lot of effort and work just to get to the ravioli part.
If you're hand making them, ooh,
Yeah.
yeah, right.
It's a big difference in flavor and everything, but it's nice to have something that's, cut to the chase a bit.
Yeah, a pro will hand make those noodles. She makes an awesome dish, but it's like an all day project.
Yeah.
Doing it.
All right, we should be getting close.
Yeah.
About 2 minutes away from the reveal.
Yeah, it looks good. It smells good. The house smells like a bakery.
Yeah, I love that. That's one of the best parts, Get all like homey and cozy. You'll definitely like slow down in the summertime because it's a hot thing.
Yeah, you have to have all the windows up. I know it's brutal in my house with the. I mean, I'm sure it's brutal for most people, unless they have the
air conditioning.
Yeah, but when you have like because we got the old school window ones. But,
like central air.
Central air, yeah.
So game plan when we'll pull it out, we'll take a quick look, and then we'll sign off, and then we'll meet up again.
Okay.
Like in another hour and a half, or when Juliet's thing's done, maybe, or whenever. Even tomorrow, we'll just like, it's been 3 seconds.
My whole loaf will be gone.
Yeah,
That's what happened, dude. I ate the entire thing almost in one day.
I'm not surprised.
I had a little piece left.
Not surprised at all.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's gonna happen again tonight.
Yeah, I'm actually.
I'm definitely taking mine out.
All right, take it out. Take it out. If you're ready to take it out, I mean, what's another 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay. You're coming out of the oven.
Ooh.
I'd like to get a cooling tray ready.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, see? That's good. Now it's more evenly colored.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks
see
good.
that? Yeah.
Yeah, that. See? It didn't darken further
I
where
know.
it
I
was.
thought it was going to burn the shit out of it.
It'll scare you. It'll scare you a little, but I'm telling you, those few minutes make a big difference. All right, now you want to pop that out to cool. So I'm going to take mine out in 30 seconds.
Oh, you're keeping yours in for a little bit, right?
Well, I got 30 more seconds. I do it for the full time.
All right. I'm going to...
Look at that nice painting.
I'm going to try to move that around, but I'm nervous to keep it in there too much longer. So...
Okay.
It should just fall out, right?
Yeah, if it doesn't, you use like the spatula to sort of help shove it. Oh, there's mine. Okay. My timer's coming off. My oven is off. My guy's coming out. See, mine also has the burnt thing from cutting. It's all that cutting we did. Okay. So, let's see.
And she should have a little bit of a burnt along the ridge. It's totally fine. That looks good. Looks good to me.
Looks good to me.
I was able to release the Kraken because it didn't want to come out.
Oh no?
No.
Oh
my God, David! It looks fucking amazing.
All right, I use a little spatula. Turn off your oven.
Underneath of it.
I just use a little guy to help pop it out.
Holy smokes.
And it should pop right out, ski. And good. And your bottom should look good. Oh, wow, yours looks beautiful, David.
Look at this. Look at the bottom.
Give it a knock on the bottom.
Looks like it's at a restaurant.
Give it a knock like this. On the bottom. On the bottom.
On the bottom?
Yeah. Flip it over. Get a little nice.
Oh, yeah, dude. It sounds like a door.
Like a solid, dull thud.
Oh,
all right,
God.
good.
That's it.
Beautiful.
All right, let's.
Let me just take a quick shot of this. What your bread ought to look like. Set it to cool. David's bread looks beautiful. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Let that cool for 10 minutes.
We did good.
Give it like 10 minutes rest, and
Yep.
and then she's ready to eat. Get some
We'll
room
cut it.
temperature butter going, and it's good with just bread and butter. This thing's a fucking dream loaf. All right, my
Sweet.
friend.
All right, well, I'll let you go.
Yeah, I got to run to do the psych lab thing with Juliet's got to run her business too. I'll talk to you soon, and we'll finish this episode up.
All right, we'll set a slice.
Enjoy your loaf.
Thank you. Oh.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi
Welcome
again.
back, everybody.
Well, it's
Wow,
been.
look, I'm wearing another t-shirt.
You know,
I changed a lot today.
I was going to change the shirt because I got dirty. I decided to keep it to try to be like, continuity going, but it's very.
I was working up a sweat earlier.
Ooh.
So.
Yikes.
We're getting up a sweat.
All right. Well,
as
look,
can
did you
see,
break into it?
Mine has been delicious so far.
Oh, your bread looks good. It's already half gone, so it came out good, right?
Yeah. The only thing is, this is only my second time doing this with you.
Yeah.
So,
which I'm impressed, by the way.
A little trial and error because I noticed as I got into the middle of it, this last piece I cut made a nice little fucking sandwich.
Right.
Beautiful. But a little doughy on the bottom.
A little doughy in the middle. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. That was probably from the break in time that if you went straight through without interruption, it probably would be fine. But that's what happens. Yeah. Like I've had a few times where I like get panicky and I pull the bread out and then I try to put it back in, then I pull it out, and it just winds up cooking the outside. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, can you take it out of the bag so we can see what the structure of the bread looks like?
Da, da, da.
Yeah. It looks fantastic, by the way, I gotta say. Oh, nice. See, look at the structure of the bubbles. That's what you want to see. That's the good stuff, man.
So good. It smells so good.
And again, it tasted fine, you say.
Yeah, I love that pan too. I mean that vessel.
The vessel? Yeah, the vessel. Hey, do you notice a difference in the crust or anything? Were you able to?
Yeah. I mean, so much more kind of. I guess the only word I can say is crusty.
Crusty. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, just so much more of a more kind of like textural.
Yeah.
And well cooked all the way through surface.
Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah, it looks nice. Check this out.
I don't know why I have 4 knives. Whoa! Oh, that's the salt on there too, huh?
Yeah. This is the salt on the top makes a nice little bonus.
You put that little carve into it too, huh?
Yeah, this is from the snipping around. It's like it's kind of random, but it looks nice. I'm going to just.
Yeah.
Deal.
Oh. I'm gonna have another piece, even though I've already had the bunch. Why not?
Yeah, and that's a structure. That's the same looking kind of action you got going with yours.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Oh, lovely.
Sun rays pouring through mine.
I'll tell you, all it needs is a little bit of butter.
It's delicious. Now you'll obviously be bringing that on the journey with you.
I'm gonna eat half of it tonight. With some raviolis.
Ooh, you're making raviolis?
Yeah, it's funny you're just talking about it, but yesterday I bought a bag of mushroom raviolis.
Well, everybody, that's how you make a loaf of bread.
Yeah, well, thanks for checking back in with David and I for our Gimmie Babel podcast. Now we're doing some video, making some bread. Give it a shot. That's so delicious. It's really worth it.
Good.
Man, yeah.
It's unbelievable. It really is. It's really unbelievable.
It's like a
I'm
cult.
so excited when I go to visit my parents because this is the type of bread that my father fucking loves. This type of bread.
Mm.
So I'll be able to make him some bread.
Yeah, and you can make it in any pot that they have. They got the fucking restaurant there, so I'm sure they've got some good bakeware.
Oh yeah.
But you just go. Maybe bring just a bag of yeast.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be sure they have that. I'm sure they have flour. Anyway, yeah, that was fun.
Well,
That was a lot of fun.
we'll do this more often. Let's hope.
Let's give it a shot. Let's try. And if the same rules apply, if you have any questions for David or I, or any suggestions or thoughts, you can write to us at gimmibabel@gmail.com. You can find us on YouTube, the Gimmie Babel channel, and on SoundCloud, Gimmie Babel
Yep. And
on
again,
SoundCloud.
everybody, this is also going to be up on YouTube, so
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
will be a whole video up there of us doing this, so it will be
Yeah,
probably a little bit more enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, just listening to
In
us.
our beautiful faces.
I think as time goes on, maybe our conversations get a little easier to dance around other subjects like what we normally would talk about, which is art, because we're a couple of artists trying to survive. But this was a big part of, I think, survival of the past year during this, the
Absolutely.
being stuck at home, the pandemic, and missing friends, and it does make the home feel nice and cozy the way it smells like a bakery in here when you're making this.
Oh my God, does it ever? Does it ever?
Brings a little bit of joy, which is kind of I'll take it where I can get it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
definitely. Yeah. So
like a home cooked, bacon cooked stuff. Makes you good. Makes you feel damn good.
Yeah, makes you feel good, and it's addicting as hell, man. I'll tell you.
Oh my God, I know. And this recipe was so easy too.
Mm-hmm. It's just
I mean,
the time.
I'm sure I'll fuck it up if I try to go do it by myself, but.
David. Hey, David. You can just
Yeah.
watch the video. I'll put up the video. If you forget,
That's true.
you can
There
just
you
watch
go.
the video,
There you go.
and you can watch you make
God.
it. Oh my
We
God,
can
I'm freaking
watch
out.
our own video to bake bread. Dude, that's fucking Matrix, man. Wow.
Okay. Well,
everybody, thanks again. We love you.
Love you.
David, I love you.
I love you, and I miss you. I can't wait till we get to make bread together in person, and then we could revel in our genius of bread making.
Oh. Can't wait for that shot, and then we'll be baking bread together.
All right, guys. Until next time, and hopefully this time, signing off. Adios.
That was great.